Good morning once again, student. I'm back here, and this time I'm going to explain you the rest of the part of chapter 7, the open window. Yesterday I've told you about the background in my first part of the video, and I'm going to continue the lesson today. We have done till part 2 of the lesson. So today I'm going to start with part 3, and before that I'm going to refresh you with some of the main points of the story. So let's start. Let's begin. Now children, let's start and continue with the rest of the part of the open window. As I was telling you, it was Mr. Frampton Nuttall who has bad nerves and he was suffering from some nervousness. He had decided to migrate to his countryside for rest and relief so that he could get some relief from his nervousness. Now, as he was not knowing anyone there, what happened? His sister, she wrote an introduction letter and she told that she knew some of the people of the countrysides and it will help you to that they will entertain you. Well, he left for his countryside and now he has come to the place of Mrs. Sappleton. Now when he knocked at the door of Mrs. Sappleton's student, at that time Mrs. Sappleton was at the first story of her house. She was upstairs, not at the ground floor. But at the same time, she has sent her niece to open the door. Now, as I told you, that niece, she was she was having a lot of confidence in her face, and she was a very smart child, and her age was, I told you yesterday only, she was 15 years old. So what happened? She called him inside. At first they were quiet, but then she started talking. In fact, the nice reveal, she was having a habit of playing jokes and pranks. This girl, Veera, the name of the niece was Veera. She has got the habit of playing jokes and pranks. And she told him that 3 years ago her aunt's husband, they have gone out for hunting along with his 2 brothers. And from that time they have not come to this home, and it is feared that they are drowned in the wet area, in the marshy area. But from that day, it was her aunt that she waited. She opened the window and she had this feeling that they would be entering through this window. Now she is telling a lie, and poor Mr. Frampton Nuttall, he believed all this thing. When she told that the aunt husband along with his 2 brothers-in-law had gone out hunting and they might return any time from this window, Frampton is frightened to hear all this thing. And in part 2, I told you that it was Mrs. Sappleton. She came down and she asked sorry for being late, and then she told him, my niece must be entertaining you, and he told yes. But at the same time, the way niece was looking at the window, it seems to Mr. Frampton that she was very much frightened. In fact, she was feeling pity for her niece, though she was acting in a very nice manner. So he was not aware that she was cooking up the story. He was not aware for that she was cooking up the whole story. So, in fact, he believed everything when she told they were caught in a wet, marshy land. Two brothers had gone for shooting and they were caught in a wet, marshy land. They never returned. And she told that her aunt, Mrs. Appleton, was still hoping that they would return home and enter through the open window. When in part 2, when Mrs. Appleton came to Frampton, she also confirmed the story of the hunting party. She was not knowing that her niece has said that they have gone 3 years ago. Now this story had a deep effect on Frampton. He was so frightened when it was told to him. And this girl, she was looking at the window often. So he was becoming more frightened when she told that her aunt still believed that they would be returning after some time. In fact, she told that they may come any moment. She had this much fear that her husband brothers they can come any moment. In fact, she told everything about the shooting cheerfully, and she told that in the winter they might find ducks also for shooting. Now, the whole atmosphere was looking very horrible to Mr. Nuttall, and he made a desperate but only partially successful effort to turn to talk on to a less ghastly topic. Now, since he was feeling afraid, he wanted to talk to the topic which was not fearful, which was less ghastly. Now, at the same time, he had seen that this girl, she was constantly straying past him to the open window. She was telling everything of the open window, and at the same time she was looking also. So it was certainly an unfortunate coincidence that he should have paid his visit on this tragic anniversary. Now today we will be doing about I would like to continue the last paragraph of part 2. This I have not explained to you. So what happened? Mr. Frampton shivered slightly when he heard all this thing, and when he was told that they are coming, so he was feeling a bit frightened. So he shivered means trembled, and slightly means a little, and turned towards the niece with look intended to convey sympathetic comprehension. Now, the child that was staring out through the open window. Now she started acting also. She purposely started looking out of the through the open window with a dazed horror in her eyes, and she was acting as if she was very much frightened, as if something is going to come from the window. In a chill shock of nameless fear, now children, Frampton, he started feeling very much afraid. He was very much scared. In a chill shock. Chill shock means he felt a chill inside his body, and he was very much afraid. A nameless fear was gripping him. Frampton swung round in his seat and looked in the same direction. Now he also started looking at the same direction where this girl, where Vida was looking at, and he saw in the deepening twilight 3 figures were walking across the lawn towards the window. And in fact, he was shocked to see that 3 persons, 3 figures were walking towards the lawn. From lawn they are walking towards through the lawn they are walking towards the window, and they all carried guns under their arms. And these 3 people, what they were doing, they were carried guns under their arm, and one of them was additionally burdened with a white coat hung over his shoulder. And children, one of the people, I think I told you that he was Mrs. Sappleton, because Veera told him that when he left he was carrying a heavy white coat. So he saw that one of them was putting white coat up over his shoulder. A tired brown spaniel kept close at their heel. He also saw that a dog is there. Okay, a dog is there. And what was the breed of the dog? Yes, it is spaniel, and he kept close at their heel. That means he was also very much near to them. Noiselessly they neared the house, and then a hoarse young voice chanted out of the dusk. Not only that, he had heard a voice, okay, which was and that voice chanted out of the dusk. And what did it chant? I say, Betty, why do you mourn? So children, all this atmosphere made him very much frightened. Now children, we will discuss these 2 question answer of part 2. So my first question is, what did Mrs. Sappleton say about the open window? So she said, Frampton Nuttall was suffering from some nervous disorder. Okay, and he went to the house of Mrs. Sappleton for a change. Now, when he visited her house, Mrs. Sappleton's niece told something to her regarding her husband and the 3, and about her 2 brothers. Mrs. Sappleton said that her husband and brother would be entering the house any time, and that's why she kept the window open till it was dark. And she also continued that they would enter through the open window only, and they will surely at any time they might be coming, and they would be entering through the open window. So she was not knowing the fact that Veera told lie that they had died 3 years ago. The horror on the girl's face made Frampton swing around in his seat. What did he see? Now, the horror on the girl's face made Frampton swing around in his seat. He also swung around, and then what he saw that he saw 3 figures coming towards the window. One person was putting a white color coat on his shoulder. The 3 of them carried the gun, and all of them, they were coming towards the window with a dog spaniel. and he was not able to believe all this. He was really very much scared. So children, we have discussed the question answer also, and now I'm going to do part 3 with you all. Now first I will be telling you about the 3 points here. We will read about the 3 points. First, what else can Frampton do but beat a harsh retreat? That means he was helpless. He was not able to do anything. He was not able to do anything now, as he was very much helpless to see all this thing. My second point here is had he seen ghost? Now the thing was that he was asked that did he really see ghost, as told by Veera. My third point here is the niece does have a knack for explaining an uncanny constants. So uncanny means unnatural. So she was explaining an uncanny constants. Now I will explain the third part of this lesson. Frampton grabbed wildly at his stick and hat. Now he was so scared, he was not knowing how to deal and why to stay. He was not knowing what will be his condition, because he is seeing clearly that 3 figures are entering in the house. But he was not knowing that what to do next. And simply what happened? He grabbed wildly at his stick and hat. Grab means he just picked up. He had taken all those things very suddenly, and the hall door, the gravel drive, and the front gate were dimly noted stages in his headlong retreat. Well, retreat means escape. Now it was only one thing for him, that it was a dim light there, and he thought it is better he should escape from that place. He should move from that place. A eyeless coming along the road had to run into the hedge to avoid imminent collision. A hedge means bushes. Now when he ran so suddenly that somebody else was coming, but that fellow, he had to save himself. He went inside the bushes so that the collision should not take place. Imminent means likely to happen. Here we are, my dear, said the bearer of the white mackintosh, coming in through the window. And then what he heard? He heard that somebody who was having the white coat upon his shoulder, while entering the window, he is telling. And then he also heard, who was that who bolted out as we came up. Now he is telling who was a person who bolted means who rushed, who dashed outside, okay, when we were coming inside. So he is inquiring about Mr. Nuttall. A most extraordinary man, a Mr. Nuttall, said Mrs. Sappleton. Now Mrs. Sappleton told that he is Mr. Nuttall. He is the most extraordinary person. She started telling that he is suffering from nervous breakdown, and he is a very a bit type of extraordinary person. Now he could only talk about his illness. Now she shared her feeling to him that he could only talk about his illness, and dashed off without a word of goodbye or apology when you arrived. She also told, in fact, she felt bad that in a very nice manner she had greeted him, but when he left the house, he did not tell even a one word of goodbye. He did not even ask for apology when he has to go when you arrived. One would think he had seen a ghost. Now, unaware of the talk between Vera and Mr. Nuttall, she was telling to her husband that he ran as if he had seen a ghost. And we really know what really happened with Mr. Nuttall. He believed that these people are ghosts, and that's why he had to grab his umbrella and hat, and he had to run in this manner. So children, with this I have completed the lesson. I have completed this lesson also, and then we have to do the question and answer from part 3. So we will be doing question and also answer from part 3. Why did Frampton rush out wildly? Well, Frampton rushed out wildly as the niece of Mrs. Sappleton, whose name was Vera, okay, she told him that her aunt, husband and brother had been missing for 3 years. They have gone for shooting. It is believed that they all sang in a marshy area. Since then they had not returned back, and even their dead bodies were not able to, nobody was able to find their dead bodies also. And there's open window is always open, because her aunt believed that they might return anytime they can come. In fact, she is sure that they would come before night. So when Frampton saw this, and he was shocked to see that they are really coming, he thought that they were ghosts, and so he rushed outside the house wildly in fear. Now children, what was the girl explanation for his lighting exit? Now see, Vera is not leaving him again. When everybody asked that why he went like that, why, okay, instead of saying a proper goodbye, what is the reason why he ran from that place? Vera told that he had a bitter experience of the dog, so he made a sudden exit on seeing that small dog, spaniel. So you can see that how nicely she is cooking up the whole story. Okay, now children, this we have to discuss in group, but then I will be telling you the important points, and while revising and while taking a class, because I hope you have got the timetable, we will be taking the class, because it is written here, this exercise you have to discuss in small groups. So I will make the group of 5 people or 3 people, and we all will discuss. So first question is this a mystery story? Give a reason for your answer. Well, this is actually this is not truly a mystery story, and it shows the fertile imagination of a young girl She plays a practical joke on Frampton and tells a cooked up story. Now poor Mr. Frampton falls a prey to her prank and run out of the house hurriedly. Now my question number 2 here is, your familiar with of the situation of in a story. Now children, I remember before starting this lesson I had told you that what is a irony. I've discussed with you. Did you remember? In my first part of the video, before explaining, because I know that this question will be there for you, and also that what is intended or expected and what actually occurred is a irony. So you have to understand irony before understanding this chapter. Now children, the question is, you are familiar with the irony of the situation in a story. Which situation in the open window are good example of the use of irony? Now children, I told you irony actually is the contrast between what is intended or expected and what actually occurs. The open window has irony of situation. Now this Mr. Nuttall Frampton is suffering from some nervousness problem, and he is advised that he should take rest. Now he decided that he should migrate to his countryside, where he would not only take rest, he would be relieving nervousness by meeting different people. But Mrs. Sappleton she plays a joke in such a manner that he had to rush out from the house. So what was expected, that he must be taking rest, he must be feeling relief with the people, but here something else has happened. He was in such a tension on seeing all these three people, he mistook them for a ghost, and he ran out of the house. He rushes out from the house suddenly. Why? Because he mistakes Mrs. Sappleton, husband and brother, as their ghost. So instead of having peace of mind, his mind was restless. Now, which phrases and sentences in the text do you find difficult to understand? Now children, this question actually, it depends upon the individual person. Maybe the person, this first group is having problem in some other phrases, and the second group must be having problem in some other places. So then again, when I will be making a group when in the classroom teaching, when online classes will be going on, so you can ask different expression. But then there are certain expression which are really very difficult, like masculine habitation. Okay, masculine habitation is a bit difficult expression, and it means that the room seemed to have that some male persons are also living. Bertie, why do you bound? Bound means jump. Bound means jump, but here it means a person whose behavior is unpleasant to other people. Okay, so in what way Veera proved to be unpleasant to Mr. Nuttall? Because she cooked up the story, she made up that story so that he should get frightened, and he really was very much frightened. Now children, one other difficult expression which I have explained you, like this one, came into the nice division. It means the category of nice people. So all these things are there. Yes, one more thing. When long question, when in the examination, when you will be getting long question, like write the summary. A very common question is write the summary of the lesson. So children, you have to write the whole story. That means you have to write the summary of all the three parts. And before starting the summary, you have to tell something a bit about the story also, like the open window, people believe is a mystery story, but it is not truly a mystery story. And then you have to throw light on some of the character. You have to throw light on the major character, like Mrs. Sappleton. Then you have to tell something about Mr. uh, Frampton Nuttall, and of course you cannot leave this girl, this 15-year-old girl, Veera. So you have to start, and then you have to write the whole story. What you people do, you will write one part of the story in a very lengthy manner, and the other you will write, and the third part you will just skip. So this is not the way to write a long question. Now one other question can come related with the character, like who was Veera, what joke did she play, what was its outcomes. Okay, so then you have to explain who is Veera and what was the outcome, what was the result of the story. In fact, again, the um, summary of the story will also be added in this question. So I hope how you have written how to write the long answer question, because in the examination you will be asked long question also, students. And the most important thing is that when whatever tenses which you will use that tenses only. If you are writing the story in the present tense, please write the whole verbs in the present tense, but generally past tense is preferred. The whole story should be written in the past tense, so use the verbs of past tense. So in this way you will not create mistake and add simple English language, because many people finds English language very difficult and they make a lot of mistakes. So write simple sentences only. With this I end my video here. Thank you and have a nice day, students. Bye bye.